Welcome back, guys. Let us wait for the other participants to join, and then we will be starting now. Abdullah, please do me a favor. When everybody will join, maybe after like 5 to 6 minutes, once we'll be starting, please take the screenshot of the attendance, whoever is there, okay,
Okay.
and share it in the group. And please
Thank
do this job for me as personal favor on daily basis.
Okay, inshallah, inshallah.
Thank you so much. So nice of you. Noor Muhammad. $656. Okay, well, guys, I think we should start now because we are having short of time. Till now, we have not started anything. Now, we are going to discuss our element 4, that is health and safety monitoring and measuring. What we are going to discuss, or what are the learning objectives of this element? We will be discussing the common methods and indicators used to monitor the effectiveness of management system, that how we are going to manage, how we are going to monitor the effectiveness of management system, that whatever the management system we have already implemented, how is it effective or not. We will be having some kind of key performance indicators or the KPIs. One of the picture I have shared you in the WhatsApp group so that you can have a better idea about different KPIs. These were the KPIs which we were using on our project. You can have, or you might be having different KPIs depending upon your client's procedure or your internal procedures. So then we will be discussing why and how incidents should be investigated, recorded, and reported. Incidents have to be investigated in case if there is an incident like injury, any kind of damage only, any kind of near miss, any kind of dangerous occurrence. What are these? We will see the definition of accidents, near misses, and we will be learning how we are going to investigate, why do we have to investigate, how we have to investigate, how we have to record them, and how we have to report them. Then we will be explaining what an audit is, and then why and how they are used to evaluate the management system, whatever the management system we have prepared, we have implemented. Based on the implementation, we'll be getting the feedback, we'll be preparing some kind of audit checklist. We'll learn how we prepare, and based on that we will be evaluating the whole audit, the whole management system. We'll be auditing the whole management system, and we will be checking its effectiveness. Then we'll be explaining why and how regular reviews of health and safety performance are needed regularly. Why do we have to review them? Why do we have to improve it? Of course, we'll see. Now we are going to discuss our element 4.1, that is active and reactive monitoring. What is that? In active and reactive monitoring, active monitoring is looking at control measures to see if they are correct and being used before accidents are caused. We are going to monitor something, we are going to look at something before something is going to get happen. What do we look? Basically, we had already performed the risk assessment, and based on the risk assessment we had implemented some control measures. We are going to look to those control measures, that if they are effective or not effective. When do we have to look them? Before something is going to get happen. Okay, so this is whatever we do, this is what we call active monitoring. In the active monitoring, basically we do something before incident is going to get happen. For example, for that purpose we do some kind of site inspection, site sampling, some kind of safety tours. And in reactive monitoring, what do we do? Basically, we wait for something. I'm saying it. We wait for something to get happen. Okay, reactive monitoring is basically not a good kind of monitoring. Usually, we don't consider it, but in some scenario, we do it. But in reactive monitoring, the management waits for something to get happen. Means after incident, investigations, near misses, we are investigating the incident. Okay, we are investigating the near misses, and then we are defining the further control measures. For example, we are taking the ill health data to highlight the area of concerns. Now we are going to discuss all these one by one in more details. In the active monitoring, we are checking that whatever the control measures we have set and we have implemented, if the control measures are implemented practically in the field or not. They means those who are implementing them, we need to check them if they are conforming, if they are complying with the set standards or not. For that purpose, we are checking number and quality of the risk assessment against plan, that what how many risk assessments we have prepared, what was the quality of the risk assessment. Okay, if we are monitoring it properly, it means this is basically we are monitoring it properly, it means we are improving, and this is indicating we are having good health and safety culture. And with the good health and safety culture, we are improving it more, because numbers of risk assessment are more, quality of risk assessment is good, so that indicates the good health and safety culture. Next is health and safety training to be scheduled. Trainings are being scheduled properly, they are being conducting on time. What about the effectiveness of those trainings? This is what we do in active monitoring before something is going to get happen. Then what about the consultative committee meetings? They are being scheduled, everyone is participating, they are properly consulting, they are cooperating. If all these are being done on time and issues are being removed on time, it means that we are improving, we are promoting positive health and safety culture. Otherwise, negative. Then workplace inspections, daily, weekly, monthly, or routinely. For example, before we are going to perform our job, we are doing some kind of inspection over there. Before we are going to use any kind of equipment, we are doing some kind of inspection, pre-use inspection. What different kind of inspections are there, we will be learning about them. But in case if we are doing our inspection on time, it means that we are promoting good health and safety culture. Okay, next is different kind of inspections. We are having different kind of inspections, we call them inspections, sampling, and tours. Even in some scenarios we are calling them walkthroughs. What are these? First of all, safety inspections. What are safety inspections? Safety inspections are basically examination of workplace, statutory inspection, plant and machinery, pre-use check. We are inspecting all these, and this is usually done by one line manager or a competent person. Usually you guys are doing the safety inspections on time, on routinely basis. If we talk about safety inspections, these are basically, you can say, pre-use inspections, pre-use of plant, machinery, vehicles, equipment, workplace. Okay, this is something you do it before you are going to use some kind of equipment or plant. And this is usually done by the contractor safety. You guys are doing it if you are not working in the client. So usually you are doing it, and client is just keep monitoring you and asking you to provide them your reports. Daily checklists you are providing them. These checklists are what? These are basically inspection checklists. You are inspecting it and you are taking a proof that yes, I have inspected all these. You are signing downside, and someone from your senior management is approving that yes, we have inspected the area, we have inspected the plant, we have inspected the people, if they are trained or not. We have inspected if the safe system of work was implemented or not. So this is what you guys are doing. Safety inspections. You guys are the inspectors. Next, safety sampling. You guys have been appointed in different areas and different activities. For example, let me try to draw a structure over here. Close the camera first. Give me a minute, guys. Okay, over here, just consider. First, I think we should discuss about the safety sampling. Safety sampling is a representative sample to judge the compliance and less time consuming what occurs over here. And there is something which we call safety tour. I will explain you here. Considering the same activities, okay, just we usually used to talk about, consider this whiteboard is your premises and this is the main gate, okay, of your premises. Usually workers are coming over here. We are having some activity working at height. Here confined space entry. Here we are having hot work activity. Okay, here we are having rigging and lifting. Okay, here we are having excavation. Okay, excavation. So over here on each activity, you will be having one safety officer. Okay, this is just I am explaining you practically that usually this is our routinely job, that on each activity we are having one safety officer. Depending upon the size, we can have two or more. Okay, if the client requires us. What he does, he is checking plant, he is checking premises, means area. Okay, he is checking people, he is checking procedures, right? He's checking plant, that if machinery or vehicles are there, whatever they are, uh, up to date, they are inspected or not, he is doing the inspection. Premises, he is checking the workplace, the environment, he is checking the people if they are trained or not, what about their behavior. He is checking the procedure, safe system of work, permit to work, if it is implemented properly or not. All these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, these guys are checking all these things. Okay, these are usually you guys contractors. Whatever you are doing safety inspections. Okay, now you are having, just a minute, pen and color. You are having someone from client side. He will come over there. Basically, he will come on all the activities. Okay, and he will be checking maybe one or two things from here, one or two factors areas from here, one or two areas from here, one or two areas in the same way, one or two things from here, and he basically have some kind of samples. This is what we call safety samples. Who does this basically? Client, usually on the job site, and this is contractors, you, contractors. This is what we call safety sampling. He is doing the safety sampling. And now we are having, let's say we are having these guys. Okay, our senior management, let's say they come, they will have one walkthrough in this way, and they will move. They will just keep observing. Okay, perhaps maybe they will go to one area, they will spend more time over there, and later on they will not be coming to the other parts, other points. Khalas. This is what we call safety tour. Okay, usually done by senior management. Clear, guys? So these are three different kind of inspections we are having on our job site. Okay, done by
Excuse me,
different
sir.
group of people.
Sir,
Yes,
each activity, each person, safety officer.
yeah, usually yes, but it totally depends upon the requirement from the client. Remember, I am again saying it depends upon the requirement from the client. The reason is, in some client, in some areas, or depending upon the size of the organization, one guy can monitor both the activities. So usually client doesn't ask, they said no problem, if we can monitor it, we don't have any issue. So in that way, it depends upon the client. The scenario which I told you is, you can say somehow ideal scenario where one activity, one safety officer. Yes, Mr. Vijay.
Hi, so this I have a doubt. This safety samples, the means what kind of sample you mean, that a physical, a model, or say a
Okay. These samples are basically readings about the hazard, and about the observation of hazards or non-conformities
okay,
that
okay,
you did not, for example, you did not provide the proper PPE to all the workers, right? So these are the samples. They are just collecting the samples, and they are preparing a report, and they are hammering it on us through the email, right?
okay. So it will be in the workplace notice board. You mean that
No, no,
how
no,
it
no,
is?
no, 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 no. Safety sampling should be done by someone who is competent, and usually, practically, in our scenario, our clients are doing the safety sampling.
Okay,
They are coming to see. We are having designated safety officers. Okay, what happened? We are having designated safety officers on the job site. Okay, which are working our centralized safety manager. Usually, what happens? The client comes, okay, and he starts moving in the field, taking different samples from each activity. And what are these samples? These samples are readings about the hazards or non-conformities.
understood.
He will be noting down these samples. He will go back to his room or office, and then he will be sending you an email, or he would be discussing all these in the meetings,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Okay.
Understood. This is I understood, but the safety samples only I have not cleared, sir. Sorry to bother you. That sample, in the sense, it is a statue model, or
No. Samples are readings about the hazards. They are not going to go through a systematic scheme. Like, they are not going to check all hazards of the hot work activity.
okay,
Okay, they will be just checking the visible one or two things. For example, in another terminology of sample, I tell you, that if we are having with every safety officer, we are having 10 fire extinguishers, 10 here, 10 here, 10 here. In the same way, 10 fire extinguishers are over here, 10 are over here. So this safety supervisor, superintendent, who will be coming to take the sample, of course, he is not going to check all these fire extinguishers, right?
Correct.
But he will be just checking some one or two samples from here, one or two random samples from here. Maybe he would not be checking any sample from here, and he will go to the next sample to check the next sample here. Then he will go to check the next samples over here. So he is just checking some samples randomly. He's just observing something randomly, not in a sequence wise, right? As a sequence, he has to come over here. He has to check all the 10 fire extinguishers here. Then he should go over there. He should check all the 10 fire extinguishers there. Then he should move further, checking all the extinguishers there, moving here, checking all the extinguishers here. Then finally, he will move here, checking all the extinguishers here. Then he can go back. Okay, this is safety inspection, that you are doing everything in a systematic way. Okay, you are checking everything. Safety sample is just getting, choosing random samples, because you cannot check all, and you are identifying based on the samples you have chosen. Let's say you have chosen 5 samples. Based on these 5 samples, you will identify that all the safety or the area is cleared, or area is safe to be used.
Okay.
Clear or no?
Clear.
If it is 100% clear, then tell me. Otherwise, I will be making it more clear.
No, I understood.
Okay. But usually, this is the meaning of safety sample. But usually, who is doing the safety sampling on the job site? Usually, the client is doing the safety sampling. Remember, client is the one who usually take the samples from the job site, and he is sending the emails to you, and he is screwing you usually. So this is, I was just explaining that usually the client is checking taking the samples. You are performing the inspections, and a safety tour is being done by senior management. Clear? Any question from anybody? No. Okay, so let us move further. And over here till now, what did we discuss? We discussed the safety inspection, safety sampling, safety tour. And over here, what do we check in the systematic inspection? We will come to this slide later on, but just to have an overview again, we will be reading the slide back again. In safety inspection, what do? We basically examine the workplace, law requirements, statutory inspection based on law, that if you are following the law or not. Plant and machinery, pre-use checks. We inspect all these things in a systematic way. What is that systematic way? In plant, we check machinery and vehicles. In premises, we check workplace and environment. People, we check working method, their behavior, trainings. Okay, and procedure, we check safe system of work and permit to work, if it is implemented or not, that all the implemented procedures are properly implemented there or no. Yes, Mr. Faizan.
Sir, just can we come back to this? Yes. So just in safety inspection, what is the pre-use check?
Pre-use check, you are going to use the crane. You are going to use the forklift. Do you have some kind of pre-use checklists?
Yes, sir.
Before you are going to use the forklift, before you are going to use the crane, there is some kind of inspection checklist.
Yes.
This is that pre-use check.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome. Now, it is usually done by one line manager or a competent person. Usually safety officers are those who are doing this. Line manager never comes to check the crane. He never comes to check the plant, premises, people, process. Line manager doesn't come to check all these. So you guys as a safety officers, you are checking this. Next is safety sampling. Safety sampling is basically representative sample to judge compliance. Someone will come on the job site and he will be just taking random samples from different areas about different things just to check if the compliance through the area is okay or not. As I have mentioned regarding the example of fire extinguishers. Okay, in case if we are having 300 what you call lightings. Lightings are, by the way, very easy to judge. I will not go with the example of lighting. I should use some other example. For example, fire alarm, fire detecting system, or fire detector, or heat detectors. Yes, heat detector or smoke detector. This is the best. Heat detectors, or in case if we are having smoke detectors. And these 300 are in an area which is very large, like let's say 1 kilometer in this way, 1 kilometer in this way. Then can we check all these 300 detectors? Not possible. Then we will be going for the sampling. Okay, then in sampling we basically identify that we are assuming that the whole system is working perfectly. Okay, this is basically less time consuming, but this is, I will say, not effective. The reason is, if I take some samples from here only, then I can assume that the whole area is working, all the heat detectors are working perfectly. Okay, because usually when we define about the sampling, we say only 10 samples are required. So 10 samples from where? From which area? Maybe the person will be taking 10 samples from here and he will be leaving the whole area unattended, right? So safety sampling is not an effective way. But on the other side, to make it effective, we are having safety inspections done by safety officer and sampling done by supervisor or the client representative, and safety tour. Safety tour is basically a high profile walk around inspection in the workplace carried out by a group including senior managers, your top management. Usually they show their commitment to the safety and they come on the job site on weekly basis and they test the area. The intention is to interact and be highly visible, as I mentioned. Clear, guys? So these are basically three different kind of inspections: safety inspection, safety sampling, and safety tours. And in the safety inspection, what do we check? This is a systematic way. It is a systematic way to identify the things: plant, premises, people, and procedures. Next is the arrangement for active monitoring. Factors to consider when planning the introduction of active monitoring. Whenever you are going to perform the active monitoring or doing some kind of inspection, we have to go for some kind of planning, which is very important. Okay, you have to plan your work and then work on your plan. This is a very famous saying. So planning is important. Okay, in the planning, what you will be considering basically, first of all, type of monitoring required. What kind of monitoring we are going to do? What is the, or what will be the frequency of that monitoring? Weekly, monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, daily. Okay, then allocation of responsibilities. Who will do what? Okay, in the inspection, who will do what? Then competence of the inspector, that inspector is competent to inspect the area or not, inspector is competent to inspect the equipment or not. For example, as a safety officer, if I am going to ask you to inspect the crane, not the safety check, mechanical checks, can you do that? Of course, no. But if I ask you to check the safety aspects, can you do that? Yes, you can do that in that scenario. Okay, then we do, because we don't want anything to get missed, we use checklists to inspect the area. Okay, and when we prepare the checklist, we keep these points in our mind. The whole area should be covered. And action planning for the problems found: whenever we do the inspection, whatever the non-conformities or whatever the problems we would be having, what about the remedial action we are going to take? Okay, these are the factors we will be considering whenever we will be going for the active monitoring. Okay, proceeding to next. This is an example of bank head office, that in case if we are going to inspect the area, how we will be inspecting. First of all, we need to define the purpose. Okay, what is the purpose to inspect that area? We are going to monitor health and safety standard. This is the purpose of our inspection. Then frequency. What is the frequency? After how many days, minutes, hours, weeks, years we will be inspecting that? We will be checking the health and safety standards, if they are implemented or not. Monthly, in the bank, monthly. Then competence, who is going to do that? What about the competency? Someone from the, let's say from the safety department, let's say safety manager. If safety manager is going to do that, what does he require? He require 1-day course training, because he must know that how I am going to inspect what I am going to inspect. And who will do this training? Your HSE trainer. He will be the one who will be conducting this 1-day training to make him competent. Then next is persons responsible. Who are the persons which are responsible? Manager at different level. What does that mean? Responsible person, manager at different level. Wherever we are having, let's say we are having 5 stories, managers at different level of the building. This is one. Second, in the activity, if we are having different managers in different levels, activity to activity, then those managers or line managers are responsible. Area managers, okay, for example plant manager or activity managers, like usually we are saying engineers, they are responsible. Next, inspection checklist. Are we going to use a general checklist, or if we are having customized checklist, a tailored checklist, depending upon our need, not the generic one? Okay, so it depends upon your inspection. In the planning you will define about it. Then follow-up arrangement. Who will do the follow-up? Okay, to remove, to take or to implement the remedial actions, whatever the actions you will be choosing over there. What would be your action plan? So this is somehow from here, from this example of inspection of the bank head office, we know how we are going to plan and what we have to plan, what do we have to decide about the inspection, what should be included over there, and how we do that, what to follow. Clear, guys? Yes, Mr. Fezan.
Sir, just you have given example of bank head office.
Yeah.
So just we can just if we are going to do the inspection of any plant, okay,
Any
or
plant?
any equipment. So
Okay.
just we can go with this headings, that purpose, frequency, same heading we can use there also.
Yeah, these are the factors which you will be considering. Yes, you can go with the same. No
Okay,
problem.
thank you, sir.
No problem.
And just one
Yes,
thing,
Yes, please.
I have a doubts that the follow-up arrangements, it means that if during the inspection, if we found that at the few steps some means there was a lacking, okay,
Yeah,
at the
non-conformity. Yes.
so from there we will select a plan that how we are going to redeem this, or how we are going to mistake this accidents.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is the same, no, following up arrangement.
Yeah, exactly. For example, you identified, you were inspecting the work at height activity, and you identified people are not provided with proper PPE.
Okay.
So you suggested them PPE should be provided to protect them from fall. Okay. Now you
Okay, sir.
suggested them. Are they going to use it or not? How we will know? Then in your action plan, you are going to define that how we will be going to follow them up.
Okay, and also we can select who is the concerned person for this. If
Yeah.
required, to whom we will connect.
Yeah, this is who is the
Okay.
concerned person, right?
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
No problem. Yes, Mr. Vijay.
Hi, Mr. Badru, that's because my perspective, see, a safety manager and HSC trainer. Safety manager, supposed to be the same. See, there is the same qualified persons or same persons, or what is the difference between safety manager? Safety manager, I believe that safety manager also a HSC qualified person, right?
Yes, safety manager is basically a HSE qualified person. Yes.
So in this scenario, you mentioned that the training should be the HSC trainer should be giving training to the safety manager. So safety manager, in the sense that level of senior manager, he should be knowing the HSC trainer's knowledge, right? Then what is the requirement of the training given by
Okay,
safety?
very nice question.
Thank you.
question. It means what you are saying that usually the HSE manager is supposed to have all the knowledge which HSE trainer is having already,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So why HSE trainer is training HSE manager?
Correct.
Okay, very nice. See, in some organization, maybe still on your projects, you would not be having a dedicated HSE trainer. Maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Over here, we are having a dedicated HSE trainer who is basically conducting all the trainings related to health and safety management system.
Understood.
Right? So in case, or usually, as you are saying that HSE manager is supposed to have all the knowledge which a trainer is having, answer is yes. Okay, but the question is, what if you have a newly appointed HSE manager who does not know about our local procedures?
Okay.
Then who will be telling him?
Understood. Yeah.
HSE trainer. Okay, because the same scenario was with me. I was working as HSE training unit head in Jubail, and whoever the manager was coming, I was the first one who was receiving him, greeting him, and training him.
Understood. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Any other doubt? Otherwise, we will be proceeding further.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, great. Now, guys, over here, there is one group exercise. I want everyone to participate. Okay. We have to list out the topic or the headings. Okay, that should be included on an inspection checklist for use in the workplace. Can you do that?
Just one second.
For example, I give you one example. For example, fire safety. Okay, in fire safety, what we are going to check, for example, we are going to check the escape routes. We are going to check the exit signs. We are going to check the fire extinguishers. All these. So can we have some kind of list over here while we are all of us we are present over here? What kind of inspections need to be conducted on the workplace? Easy words. Question is, let me use the same slide. I'll not say what kind of inspections. I will say list out the inspections. Inspection topics. Yes, please, Mr. Faidan.
Yes, we can at our working place, we can do the inspection of our the equipment which we are going to use over the site.
Very nice. On
Second is
workplace.
housekeeping.
Very nice. One is equipment, housekeeping.
Second, the PPE which we are going to use. For
Very
example,
nice.
full body harness. These all.
PPEs. Very nice. Someone else, guys, come on. Or only Fazan?
welfare facilities.
Welfare
welfare
facilities. Very nice. Very nice. Welfare facilities. Chemical storage. Very nice. Welfare facilities.
Or sir, the vehicle which we are using for this job.
Facility. And after welfare facility, someone said something.
Vehicles which we are using.
Chemical storage. Very nice. Yeah, these are excavation, safety, permits. Very nice, guys.
Traffic routes.
First aid,
Traffic routes, very nice.
first aid box.
First aid boxes, yes, very nice. Perfect, perfect. So I want everyone, okay, your home assignment is, we are having these topics listed out over here. Okay, fire safety, housekeeping, environmental issues, traffic routes, chemical safety, machinery safety, electrical safety, welfare facilities. These are all we have listed out over here. My question to you is, or my assignment to you is, list out, shall I mention? I should be mentioning it. Assignment number 1. What is the date today? 22nd May. Okay, question is, list the topic or areas to be inspected on workplace, and you have to mention minimum 10, okay, which should not be including this. Will someone please share the screenshot?
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Okay, great. So this is what you have to. Yeah, great. Okay. So this is what you have to mention. I will give you a hint how to solve this this assignment. Go to your office, check all the procedure, ask the safety officers what they are doing. You will be having not only these, you will be having so many other things which has to be inspected, or which are being inspected on daily routinely you guys are doing. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, moving further, reactive monitoring. What is reactive monitoring? Reactive monitoring, as I have explained, that reactive monitoring is something which you do after something has happened. For example, incident, accidents, ill health, or other unwanted events and situation. What do we get basically? Basically, we are getting, basically these are those things which are highlighting the areas of concern, that where do we have to focus more. Okay, these are the things that have already gone wrong, and it measures our failures. These are our lagging indicators. Okay, and over here we are having two methods. What are those two methods? Two methods are lessons from one specific event, for example an accident, or you are collecting the data over a period of time. In 1 year, in one previous year, you have collected the data regarding the near misses, all the near misses which has already occurred on your site in 1 year, and you collected the data and you checked the trends or patterns, and based on that you are going to take some actions. Okay, this is one way. And over here, with one specific event, one specific accident, you are going to fix something. And once we talk about data collected over a period of time, this is the data we are collecting, like for example accidents, dangerous occurrences, near misses, ill health, worker complaints, enforcement actions. And based on this data we are checking the trends, events over a period of time, and pattern hotspots for certain types, for example injuries, property damages. Okay, so these are the things, this is the data collected, for example in one previous year. Okay, and we collect the data number of injuries, and once we collect number of injuries, then we identify the lost time accidents per 100,000 hours worked. And this is the way we are identifying. In LTI, when we collect the LTI data, we basically do this. We are doing the reactive monitoring. We identify the failures. We try to highlight the area of concern. These two things. One, it highlights the area of concern. We identify our failures by collecting the data over a period of time, and this is basically reactive monitoring. Okay, we collect the data over a period of 1 year. Okay, or whenever we are having 100,000 hours worked. Clear, guys? Remember, this is not a fixed word or fixed scenario. It is up to you. Usually we are choosing this figure because it makes it reportable. But it is not mandatory that you will be choosing 100,000 hours worked. Okay, you can have more numbers, you can minimize it, you can maximize it, it is up to you. But because it is a tradition to choose it as 100,000 as a target or set pattern, so yes, we are choosing it. Okay, now how do we count our LTI rate? Our LTI rate is being counted with, first, number of lost time accident during a specific time period. In 1 year, let's say in 1 year, or since the beginning of project. Usually we are saying since the beginning of project. Okay, or let's say if we are having fixed premises, Okay, then in 1 year, let's say we are having 10 LTIs. And what is LTI? Basically, usually, I am again saying usually, I am mentioning it, the word usually. LTI is in case if someone got an accident, okay, and once he got an accident, he got some injury, and because of this injury, he cannot come back to the job within 24 hours of time period. This is what we call lost time injury, LTI. Okay, this is usually in some companies, you will find they are making this figure as 48 hours. Okay, but in most of the companies, we are using 24 hours of time period. Okay, so remember, whenever you will be identifying, you will be defining the LTI, it should be based on your internal procedures. Either it is 24 hours or it is 48 hours. Okay, so let us say if we are having 10 LTIs in the last year, okay, which is a huge figure, by the way. Let us say we are having 10 LTI in this 1 year, divided by number of hours workers worked over the same period. How do we calculate it? Number of hours. For example, if we are having number of workers are 300. Okay, on daily work, they are doing 8 hours job. And how many days they are working? They have worked like 200 days. Okay, excluding Friday, for example, Friday, that is holiday off day over here. Okay, so you will be multiplying this 200 with 8 with 300. 300 workers who are working for 8 hours in 1 day, and they have worked for 200 days. Okay, then we multiply this figure with 1000. Sorry, 100,000. And this is basically we get the rate of
Sir,
LTIs.
what about 10?
What about
10, figure 10.
10 is 10 in 1 year we got 10 injuries, 10 LTIs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we mentioned that we got 10 LTIs in the previous year, and we are going to check the injuries over 100,000 hours of time, that whenever we are having these workers, they work for 8 hours and 200 days. Okay, when we spend 100,000, then within 100,000 hours, how many people they are getting injured? One or two? Like, let's say, let me make it more clear to you guys. Guys, just count this figure. Sorry. Who will be counting it for me? 2, 4, 2 and 4. Okay, so it is 10 into 10, this 10, 3 into 2, 6, 48. 100 by 48. What will be the answer? 100 by 48. Calculators.
For 2 point something.
2.08. We can
2.08.
2.1. Round off at 2.1.
2.1. It means that whenever on our project we will be spending 100,000 hours, we will be having 2 guys who got injured. and these two guys are injured. They are injured up to a level that they cannot come back to the job within 24 hours of time period. Clear now?
Yes, sir. One thing just I want to ask, sir.
Yes, please. We
Sir,
got the
just
answer. We got the answer 2.1. Okay. Over 100,000 hours. Yes, please. Fizan. Sorry.
just if we will go to calculate the LTI, so
Yeah.
we'll have to collect the data from previous year. Based on the previous year reports, we will get the actual figure of LTI.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Previous year, because LTI, which is already occurred, happened already.
Okay. So
Okay.
the
It means
outcome which
that
we will receive,
yes, yes,
so just we have received a 2.1. It means that the previous year ratio was 2.1 LTI or
yeah,
rate.
yeah. Rate was 2.1. Now I am going to explain it a little bit more. Consider that, don't consider it 2.1. I am going to make it round off 2.0. Okay, or 2. It means that whenever on our project site we will work for 100,000 hours, we will be having 2 injuries. Okay, and those 2 injuries are the result of 1 accident or 2 accidents, and those accidents are having a high intensity that they can even injure the person. No, they are having such a high intensity that they can push you away from job for minimum 24 hours. Means the high intensity accidents are those accidents which can stop your work, and once they will be stopping your work, you can imagine how much you will be losing in terms of production. Now clear
Yes, sir.
for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, clear, but I will have one question.
Yes,
Just
please.
can you help me to distinguish between accident and incident?
We will be having a detailed discussion regarding accident, incident, dangerous occurrence, near miss over here. Okay.
Okay, خلاص, okay.
So till now, if there is any question, please ask me, guys. If we are usually on the project side, if we are having 0.5, if we are having 0.5 rate which comes over, the answer of this is 0.5. It means you are having high LTI rate. It means that 0.5 for 100,000, if you will be having 200,000 hours spent on the job site, you will be having 1 day work off, and 1 day of loss is there. Okay, that is why whenever you will be giving your statistics to your clients, and he will say that you are having the rate of 3 incidents, I mean, as per 100,000 hours, they will never allow you to perform the job on their premises. The reason, because you will be having so many days off. Days off means project delay, which they cannot bear, which they will never bear. Clear now? I hope so. It is now more clear. That is why
Yes, sir.
we are very much focused on LTI, very much, because we cannot bear the days off. Okay, till now what we have discussed, let us have a review about the whole session. In this session, we had discussed about the active and reactive monitoring. Active monitoring, which you do something, you monitor something before accident or incident happens. Reactive monitoring, which is of course after the accident or after the incident. Now in the active monitoring is basically you monitor the risk assessment, health and training, consultative meetings, inspections, and for the inspection you do safety inspection, safety sampling, safety tours. What do you inspect? You inspect plant, premises, people, and procedures. Okay, this is in active monitoring and inspection. And as an active monitor, usually what you do, what factors you keep in mind, you keep all these factors in your mind and you plan to inspect by keeping all these factors in your mind. So in this way we do the active monitoring. If we are going for the reactive monitoring, by the way, these are all the topics, sorry I forgot, these are all the points which we will be keeping in our mind, or these are some of the topics which we will be using, which we can inspect ahead of time, means we can do the active monitoring for these things. Then we go to reactive monitoring. In reactive monitoring we do something when incidents are occurring or incidents have occurred already. We collect the data over a period of time and we monitor it, we calculate it, and the numbers we get based on some readings or based on some monitoring, the numbers we get, we have or we get an idea that we are having good health and safety culture or we are having negative health and safety culture. Okay, now we are going to learn about our topic 2, that is investigating, recording, and reporting incidents. I think we should be having a break now. It's 8 o'clock Salah time. What do you say, guys?
Yes, sir.
How much
Every-
remaining after,
Yes, sir,
after
yes, sir.
the,
How much remaining? We have a lot. We have a lot to study.
Yeah, 1 second, Mr. Badru, I want to see the first slide of you started first slide. No, no.
This
Yeah,
one.
no, after that. The previous one, yeah, this one, name, I want the name. Yeah, this one, okay, 1 second, okay, 1 second. Thank you, brother, thank you very much.
No problem. So let's have a break, guys. Yeah, after the break, we will be having very interesting topic to be discussed. That is about the accident investigation. Okay, and we will be learning what are the reasons to carry out the investigations, what are different type of incidents we are having. We will be discussing about them. Then what kind of inspection or investigation, by the what kind of investigation is required for what kind of incident. And then we will discuss the basic accident investigation procedure, where we gather the data, we analyze the data, we identify the control, and we plan the actions to be taken. We will see this in our next module, and after that our third module would be about the auditing. So let's have a break of half hour. Right now it's 7:58 on my watch. What happened? It's 7:58. I am unable to write now. Okay, so it's 7:58 with me. Please be back on 8:28, maximum 8:30. Okay, we'll try to come at 8:25. Okay, see you after the break, guys.